أهلا وسهلا. Hoş geldiniz.
Bienvenidos.
Selamat datang.
Welcome to Speaking Our Mind podcast, where health is more than healthcare.
Welcome to Speaking Our Minds podcast, where health is more than healthcare. This is provided by the City of Nashua Division of Public Health and Community Services. I'm Savitri Horrigan, Behavioral Health Strategist at Nashua DPHCS, and I'm joined here today with Detective Jaime Huertas from the Pelham Police Department. Hi, Jaime.
Hi, how you doing, Savitri?
Good to see you today. I'm so excited to talk with you. I've really enjoyed all of the work we've gotten to do together. And so I would love to hear more about yourself. If you could just introduce yourself to our listeners and what you do.
Well, just like you say, my name is Detective Jaime Huertas. That's the title that I hold in Pelham. I work in the Detective Division. I do a lot of elderly fraud investigations, criminal investigations. I'm the Drug Treatment and Prevention Officer with the department. I do a lot of community outreach, hostage negotiator with the SWAT team. I'm a DARE officer. I wear many hats with the department.
Wow, that's amazing. That was like so many different titles across the lifespan, working across the lifespan. And some of the things you mentioned, like hostage negotiator, that's so interesting to hear about. I think you were telling us a little earlier before this about some of the stuff you do for older adults, for maybe some of like the scams that they have experienced.
Yes, I'm also the senior liaison with the department. So anything that has to do with the seniors, any scams for us, stuff like that, it comes down to me to investigate. We had one senior that got scammed $17,000, and then he ended up doing an operation sting where we told her to tell the scammer that she had $100,000 at the house, and the scammer sent the agent to come pick up the money. And we did the operation sting, and we arrested the individual. And yesterday we got a conviction on it.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so incredible. Like, I just listening to that, you say it so casually, but that's so much work and effort to, walk people through those stages. Can you tell me a little bit more about what happens usually with folks who are at risk for these types of scams and how you approach it with a lot of empathy? Because I know that from working with you that you always bring a lot of empathy to those situations.
I mean, there's different ways. There's different scams out there now. There's a lot of stuff with Bitcoin. There's a lot of stuff online with banking. There's the viruses on your computer and stuff like that. So it depends where you click on the link. And some of these people are given access they're getting access to your computer, and that's how they're scamming the other person.
Do you feel like in your experience with folks who are at risk of these types of scams, that there is an element of increased vulnerability for older adults if there's more loneliness that's being experienced or less connection to people?
Absolutely, 100%. And they prey on people like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's really hard, but that's wonderful that you and your department were able to help this individual and get her money back. Every dollar counts as we age, and so that was a huge win. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to ask you about the Pelham Community Coalition. I know you've done a lot of work with them. Could you please tell me about what type of work you all focus on and some of the projects that y'all are working on, like the race and the mock bedroom trailer?
So I'm a member of the Pelham Community Coalition. I love that organization. It was before COVID, they were meeting. After when COVID hit, they stopped meeting, and the organization wasn't doing much. So I reached out. I was like, hey, let's get this group back up and running, which we did. And then basically what we do is we do a lot of community outreach. We try to bring the message out to the parents of anyone that's struggling with substance use disorder, so they can get the help that they need, and we'll provide them with resources. One of the things we were doing was a mock bedroom presentation at the schools. But, when it comes to stuff like that, a lot of parents used to have that stigma, not my kids, or I don't want to be seen at the school because this is a mock bedroom presentation, it has to do with drugs, and what's my neighbor going to say or what my friend's going to say if they see me at the school. So we weren't getting a big turnout. Mm-hmm. There was people showing up, but not a big turnout. So I said, you know what, let's spin this around. Let's try to see if we can get a trailer. Mm-hmm. If we can buy a trailer, and let's outfit the trailer with a teenager's bedroom inside. And we can put in hides and we'll wrap the trailer, make it eye-catching, and then we'll put a QR code so people can scan the QR code and know what the Pelham Coalition is all about. And we'll bring the trailer to any community events, and only adults will get to tour this trailer and get the education they need, on what hides kids can buy online now that looks authentic to stuff we may have at home. And if they find this stuff at home, they can reach out to us. The child won't get charged. We will remove the drugs from the house, and we'll work on getting help for the individual.
I think that's a really important part. It's all important, but the thing you just mentioned about the child won't get charged, I think is a huge, addressing a huge barrier that a lot of parents, grandparents, caregivers might face is they maybe are experiencing this or witnessing this in their child's room, but are not sure about what to do, what to say, worried about getting their child in trouble, and then maybe not having the tools or resources to address it. And so if it goes unaddressed, it may get worse and escalate.
Absolutely. My job is not to test a teenager because he's struggling with substance use disorder. I got into this field. It was to help people. Mm-hmm. And if I can make a change in one person, I think I've done my job. And anytime a parent will come up and say, hey, listen, I found this. I believe my kid has some drugs at home. Can you come check it out? We'll go over, check it out. I don't take a report number. There's no documentation that I taught to you. There's no documentation about your child's information. The only documentation that I have to do is I have to write down, I picked up 3 bags of cocaine because I got to enter these 3 bags into evidence to destroy it. Because what goes to say that I didn't keep the drugs,
Yeah.
So that's the only documentation is there that I picked up. I found 3 bags. I entered into evidence for destruction. It doesn't say who gave it to me, what address I went to, who I talked to, nothing.
Wow, that's really helpful to know. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit about what are some of the common misconceptions or questions or kind of key takeaways that parents and caregivers have when they go to these mock bedrooms?
They're shocked on stuff that they see, what we have for hides. And a lot of them don't know the help that's out there. And so we have like different brochures and pamphlets, and you've came out to help us as well. You sit at a table, and it's that outreach, and giving them the information that, they probably don't know about, and they walk out of there with more knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I was shocked when I went to your mock bedroom. That was my first one I ever went to. And I was like, whoa. And you said, these are all available online. And I was like, wow, that's really mind boggling and really illustrated to me how urgent this matter is. These things are all accessible to our youth. And so it's really necessary that we have these resources and events like what you're putting together so that everyone in the family, parents, children, caregivers can know and be informed. Not that these events are for children, but... Absolutely. Only for adults. Yes. And I thought you did a very good job making it look very realistic with like clothes strewn everywhere. I tried. Yeah, it's a very fun and educational event, which I appreciate. And I'm so excited for this trailer that you're creating to make it more accessible to people. Yeah, and this trailer, we're going to be using it at any event that Pelham has, and we will also bring this trailer out to any other agency that would like to have the trailer there. So if Wyndham wants it, Nashville wants it, Merrimack wants it, because after I did the mock bedroom in Pelham, I had Merrimack reach out. They wanted to do it. We went to Merrimack PD, and we did a couple mock bedrooms. He's done some as well. He saw my trailer. He saw the trailer. He's like, this is awesome. He's like, can I take some photos? He was, I would love to do the same thing in Merrimack. So he did. So hopefully Merrimack will get a trailer as well. Wyndham did the same thing. A teacher in Wyndham, her husband is a lieutenant in Nashville, reached out, asked for the stuff so they could do it in Wyndham. So now we have the trailer. We'll bring it out to their event. And it's that, spreading the awareness. Yeah, that's awesome. I love all of that, like just collaboration with other departments too. I've really enjoyed the mock bedrooms that the officer in Merrimack Police Department also does. Those are really wonderful. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the Outrun Addiction 5K. I know it's coming up soon, but it happens every year, right? It does. This is our second one. It's Outrun Addiction. It's a 5K, and you can run and walk. If you run, it's like 3.1 miles. If you walk it, it's 2 miles. And all the money that we raise on this 5K goes towards scholarships to kids who suffer from, the family suffer from substance use disorder that they can't afford to go to school, pay for the colleges. So that's where that money goes to. And then some of the money that we have as well goes to us getting motivational speakers into the schools to talk to the kids at an early age so they can make better choices in life. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realize that's what the money was going towards, was supporting the students and the families who have that experience in their lives. That's really wonderful.
Thank you.
I haven't gotten a chance to go yet, but I'm hoping to go soon. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the unique elements of this 5K that just really make it, unique?
So we have the one we're having one May 31st of this year at 9:00 is the starting time. We have different medals for age brackets as well. So it's not like you only a first and second, third place. So it's going to be age brackets. So we have from like 0 to 12 years old, whatever, there's going to be time, and then like from 15 to 25, this time age brackets, and there's medals for each category for first, second, and third. Next year, we're going to try to see, because we're going to be doing it every year. Next year, we're going to try to see if we incorporate dogs as well, because we're dog friendly.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We're going to see if we can get people to bring their dogs in the races, and we'll give medals to those first 3 dogs that crosses the finish line to help the runners or the walkers through as well. So yeah, that's the goal.
That's awesome. I love the idea of incorporating dogs, because animals and the emotional support they provide is just unmatched.
Absolutely. We'll have a DJ there as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it's going to be food. It's going to be a good event.
I love that. I love the combination of food, music, animals in the future, just people gathering in community to, for something related to addiction and grief, and also community and connectedness.
Yeah, and one of the stuff that we're doing too with the race, we have a poster project that we do. So basically, if you lost a loved one to substance use or suicide, you can send us a photo of your loved one and 2 phrases of what you remember your loved one by, right? At no cost to you, the Pelham Community Coalition will pay to have that photo a poster size. Like what will you see when people go for elections, they have the posters on the side. So it'll be a life-size poster, and then we will put these posters out at every event that we do. It's just to pay the respects for the loved ones. That's another stuff we do.
That's beautiful. I really love that idea of having these posters where people can, honor their loved ones and have these quotes, memories of the things that they used to say and remember them by. And that's really sweet. I love that a lot.
Absolutely.
Thank you for sharing that. So I'm also interested in the speakers that you all have. You mentioned that some of the funds go towards bringing speakers to the schools.
We do, yeah. We use it for motivational speakers. The first one we had last year, we did, it was Hoffman.
Oh, Tony Hoffman.
Tony Hoffman.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Tony Hoffman.
I loved that.
President of the Olympics. He was awesome. He taught to the students, it was about 510 students at the high school. The whole auditorium was full, and he had all the attention. It was awesome.
Yeah,
so
they listened. They were quiet.
Yes, and then the last one we had this year was Sam Demma, the red backpack. You can see his stuff on YouTube. He was phenomenal as well. He actually spoke to the kids at the elementary and at the high school.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's cool.
Good guys.
I like that they are talking to other ages too, because I think starting young is also really important.
You got to start from the young kiddos,
Yeah,
all the way up to the end.
Absolutely. Would you tell our listeners a little bit about what these speakers talk about and kind of the key takeaways they try to share with the youth?
So the key speakers will talk about their life experience, what they've gone through, the struggles they've gone through, and where they're at now, how successful they've made it now, and they let them know, not to take those paths, how they can change their life without going the route they took, because they talk about all the struggles they went through, the bad stuff that the families also experienced because of the life choices they did or the friendships that they made at an early age as well. So yes, they talk about bullying, how it affects other people, mental health, all that stuff. So they hit like every topic. It's awesome.
Yeah. I remember that, I think it was for Tony Hoffman. He spoke about having experiences with anxiety and ADHD growing up and not really knowing or having the resources to navigate that. And in addition to the high pressure of being an Olympic athlete,
yes,
and all of that, all of that pressure that goes along with that, and then having that experience with developing a substance use disorder, I think that for me, the takeaway, it was just incredible just to hear that raw vulnerability from somebody to talk about their mental health journey. I feel like that's always really just so critical to hear other people be so open and vulnerable about what they're going through in their mental health. I think also for me, it highlighted the importance of prevention at an early age, like all the work that you're doing, because if children and families don't know or have the resources to address these other mental health issues or other, needs that they have, like around anxiety, ADHD, any other types of needs that they might have, it can really escalate.
Absolutely. And it goes hand in hand, mental health and substance use, definitely hand to hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And the other person you mentioned has a red backpack series on YouTube?
Yes, he does. You got to watch it. It's awesome.
Okay, that sounds very cool. Thank you.
Sam Dema.
Awesome. Are there any other things that y'all are working on with the Pelham Community Coalition that you'd like to highlight?
We do a lot of stuff. We do the candlelight vigil. We remember family members and loved ones that died from overdoses or suicide. We do that type of stuff as well. We do suicide prevention. The month there's a week where we teamed up with the Honor Bear Project, and we set up flags at the Village Green. We have a lot of veterans that come up as well, and it's for veterans and first responders as well.
Oh, wow.
Mental health hits home.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me more about that event and when it typically happens in the year?
I believe it's in August when we do that event. Don't quote me on it right now. I think it's in August. But yeah, we reach out to the VFW. They come over. They do a nice presentation. The chief usually says a speech as well. And it's just talking about, the awareness about mental health, suicide, substance use, how it impacts everyone, and that they're not alone. There's, we have people that are out their job is out there to help you, through those struggles. Even in our department, we have what's called the peer-to-peer. So we have like a buddy check system where we check on each other, how you doing? Because today you might have gone to a call and it was traumatic for you. For me, probably was nothing, but for you, it hit home, So we do a buddy check system, peer-to-peer. And our chief is very big on the mental health aspects as well. So we got to see a clinician every year as well. Sit down with a clinician to make sure you're okay.
Wow, that's really wonderful that there's all these different support systems in place to help support folks. And I really like the peer-to-peer. What did you call it?
It's a peer-to-peer.
Yeah, peer-to-peer program, checking in on each other. I think it always means so much more when it comes from someone that you already have that established relationship with, as opposed to someone that you don't maybe know as well. And maybe with that established relationship, I feel like usually people can also pick up on really small cues too.
Absolutely. And if you're broken, you're not going to be able to help someone that's in crisis, right? So if you're broken, your buddy's going to see you and they're going to know something's wrong. Most likely, probably your family life is not going well as well because now you're broken. So let's work on helping you get better so you can help others and you can live a good family life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to thank Savici. Sorry to interrupt, but for those who are listening, this is Jonathan, Detective. I just wanted to kind of circle back on what you were mentioning about the elderly being scammed by these predators online, these digital predators, right? If you can just touch base on, you also mentioned that you do these education pieces with the senior center in regards to, making sure that they're aware of the red flags and stuff like that. But if you can just touch in a little bit of what you tell them to pay attention to, just for the listeners here that are listening, maybe they're not aware of it, can probably help them.
So yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different scams out there now. You'll see, if you own a cell phone, one of the big ones now is the Easy Pass. You owe a fee for the Easy Pass, and there's a link that they want you to click so you can pay. You click on that link, they're gonna get all the access to whatever you have on your cell phone. A lot of us use mobile apps, like banking apps on our cell phone, so all the information is there. Your passwords are on your cell phone. So once you click on that app, the scammer has full access range to your cell phone. Same thing goes with computers. If you have a laptop or you got a desktop computer, you'll see that they'll send out a virus. Your computer is infected with virus, or they'll send a pornographic image to your computer, and now they say you have to pay to get this fixed, and now they're going to get your information. Absolutely.
Sorry, creating panic, basically, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how long have you been educating those folks when it comes to that information?
I've been doing it for 10 years now in Pelham.
And have you noticed kind of a decrease in like cases when it comes to that since you've been doing it, or?
We have, but I don't think it's because of the outreach that we do. I think it's a lot of them is they're not reporting, because they're ashamed of because now you have also Bitcoin. Yeah. They try to scam you with deposits to Bitcoin, and this that wallet ID number and stuff like that. So I think it's lack of reporting.
And one last question, as far as, because as you know, with the technology, it evolves every year. There's always something different. So as you doing that and being, one of the contacts, in regards to that type of work that you do, is this something that you also get education from other people outside of the department in regards to newer things that can be can be a scam in the future, or something that's evolving? Like, for example, like AI right now, people can't tell the difference if it's a human being or a robot talking to them. So is that something that you get education from outside sources of something that's coming brand new to be aware of?
Yeah, so there's different trainings that we got to take every year. And when stuff like that comes up, we get a notification on our email, hey, we're going to be hosting the training at this department or at this school or whatnot. And then the PD will pay for me to go. If it's a 2-day training, if it's a week training, some of them are pretty in depth. So they cover multiple stuff. So it could be a week training, but usually about 2 or 3 day trainings every year. Whatever comes up, the PD will pay for me to go.
Wow. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome. And we also have a bank in town. It was Enterprise Bank. Now it's Rockland Trust. Their manager she also works hand in hand with us in Pelham when we go to the senior center to talk about the scams, different frauds, and they're very, very closely with us when it comes to stuff like that.
Thank you again. Thank you for that information. It's really critical information, especially, I have a mother who's older who know the difference, right? And I'm sure Savitri, so that really is information that's crucial for folks like us to make sure that, our loved ones don't get scammed.
Absolutely.
We're not always going to be around, but we just have to make sure they get educated on it, because these phones are live all the time, 24/7, so you don't know what they're getting into.
Many computers.
Exactly.
So I wanted to wrap up with just one more question, or two more questions. One's about where can people look for more resources about all of this, or contact you for a mock bedroom, for example.
So they can call me at the PD 603-635-2411. Again, 603-635-2411, or they can reach me at my cell phone. I got a department cell phone, which is 603-508-0152. 603-508-0152. I got that phone on me 24/7. So anyone that is looking for information on where to get help, someone is struggling with substance use or someone struggling with mental health, I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. If you call me, I'm going to pick up my phone. If you leave me a message, because I'm tied up and I don't pick up, I'll call you back and I'll get you the help you need.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then also I wanted to share for the Pelham Community Coalition, their website is the PelhamCoalition.org.
Yes.
Yeah, and that'll have a lot of the resources that you also mentioned, right?
Absolutely, yes. And we have a Facebook page as well. The Facebook page for our coalition, let me make sure I give you the right one, is Pelham Community Coalition. You'll find us on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And finally, I just wanted to wrap up with, if you have any advice for folks out there related to self-care and just making sure we're, having space for our own mental health through all of this.
Take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Take a break. Take a pause and work on yourself. If you're not good, you're not going to be good for anyone else.
أهلا وسهلا. Hoş geldiniz.
Bienvenidos.
Selamat datang.
Welcome to Speaking Our Mind podcast, where health is more than healthcare.